Hey guys, Scott back again with a new beer dissection video for you. Today what I've decided to do is pick a beer from Montauk Brewing Company called Cold Day India Pale Ale. There we go. Montauk Brewing Company, obviously, I'm on Long Island myself, for those who don't know me very well, and Montauk's on the far east end, south shore of Long Island. Believe it or not, some of their history I don't know that much of other than being out there. I've been out at the brewery before. Never had this beer in particular. They brew a lot of great beers. They got a great hazy and Wave Chaser, which I may do a review on. And I'm actually surprised I haven't, in the time I've been doing these videos, haven't done a beer from them yet, because I can kind of get it pretty, it's pretty available for me to get. This one's at 6.7% alcohol. India Pale Ale, Cold Day. So I'm presuming we're middle December, just I'm a few days from Christmas recording this video, so it would be a perfect time to try this out. Like I said, with Montauk, I don't know if they were bought out. If any of you know Montauk Brewery very well, I don't know if they were bought out by a bigger outfit. Regardless, the beers have still been good. They'd be a good example of being bought out by big beer isn't such a bad thing, because they're still producing quality beer for a while. They produce a really good hazy in the red can IPA. So I'm expecting this one's going to be just as good. All right, so let's crack this open. And again, since it's an IPA, I'm going to kind of go with one of my tulip pint type of glasses. I'm just looking for any other distinguishing information on here. I don't really have any IBU units. And that's it. All right, so let's crack this up open. Okay. Okay, so let's take a look at this bad boy here. So we kind of got a nice gold. I'm sorry, sometimes the lighting here is inconsistent, but kind of a medium gold color, white frothy head. I pour things again more aggressively. If you watch more than one video of mine, I usually talk about how I'm pouring things a little more aggressively these days. But it looks like this head's going to sustain itself pretty well. Gold, nice color. I don't see any darkening or anything that I'd show as oxidation of the hops, but looks pretty good so far. No, that's nice. I kind of get like that, peach. I almost get like a bubble gum, aroma, at least that I'm perceiving. Obviously, not sticking bubble gum in the beer. Maybe a little mango too. The hops are dominating, so in a lot of hoppy beers, sometimes, I'm sure we're getting that typical, again, I'm not getting much information here as far as two-row malt, Pilsner malt, but, you get a little, again, I'm getting more with the peach. Maybe a little mango, tropical fruit. Definitely no, I'm not getting any orange or grapefruit, which I've been getting a lot these days doing some of these reviews. A pretty basic malt profile, the water cracker, white bread type of aroma, very basic, probably the Pilsner or two-row malt, lowly kilned type of aroma. I definitely get this bubble gum kind of smell on it, and it's not a bad thing. It's just kind of but definitely some of that citrus in there. Mango, stone fruit, peach. Okay, let's cheers. Same thing, it always makes my life easy when the aroma kind of translates into the flavor. I get, at least with this beer, a little that mango, maybe a little tiny bit of pineapple on the palate that I really wasn't getting in the aroma. So much, no orange or anything like that. Definitely very neutral malt profile. Maybe a light breadcrumb kind of, white bread, typical kind of Pilsner 2-row malt, lightly kilned 2-row malt profile here. The carbonation's, medium carbonated. The mouthfeel is kind of a medium mouthfeel. I get a little bit of definitely a pronounced bitterness here, which I would expect for most IPAs. I'm not going to be, a sports gambler here, but I would say the IBUs are probably around 40 or so. And as it sits there, the typical delayed reaction I get with the bitterness, I'm kind of feeling it now. But it's not as stringent, which is great. Very pleasant beer. But you definitely get a little bit of that carbonic bite up front. Then it kind of mellows out a little bit. And then the bitterness kind of starts creeping up on your palate as you sit here. But definitely, a typical, well-made IPA. I mean, it does look a little hazy. They say cold IPA. Sometimes these beers, I've been noticing, they're not really saying New England or whatever. There's enough bitterness here that I would say this is more along the lines of an American IPA, which will have more moderate pronounced bitterness versus that New England IPA that I've reviewed, at least a couple of them. You don't get as much bitterness. And remember, that's the big difference. The New England IPA is a heavy hop for aroma and flavor, not as much in the beginning of the boil for the bitterness, if you haven't caught more than one or two of my videos. So India Pale Ale, presume more of an American IPA. Again, peach, a little mango, tropical fruit type of aromas and tastes. I don't taste really, nothing's telling me Pacific Northwest, so this is kind of more, probably a little more New World kind of hop. But again, I don't really know. Sometimes on some of these beers, it's like you got to dive into the archives of the internet to find out, for them to divulge their information. I'm sure they don't want to share too much, but some of these hops varieties are not some trade secret. A lot of places are using it. But maybe the hopping rates, they kind of try to keep things a little bit close to the chest here as far as divulging their recipes and formulas. But I would definitely recommend this. And it has nice carbonation that, like most pale ales with pairings and things like that, some of your, this would go good probably with a nice cheddar. Since an IPA, the classic pairing is always kind of blue cheese because it will cut through some of the fat from those creamy cheeses. Probably not too much like a mozzarella or anything like that, or ricotta or stuff like that. I'd probably, keep this beer. I'll go with a different beer, like a wit beer for those types of cheeses. And Spanish Mexican foods, because it has enough of that mango, slight pineapple type of aroma and flavor, stone fruit, peach type of flavor that would go good with, think of salsa type of stuff that I've said in other videos. But other than that, again, Montauk, Cold Day, India Pale Ale. First time I've had this. I think I've seen it on the shelf because, being out here on the island. And like I said, I recommend many of their beers. They seem to do the pale ales, the IPAs very well. It looks pretty fresh in the thing. And Best Buy was March of 2023. So reasonably fresh. I'd like to think so because I only live about 50 miles from there. I'm just going to pour one little bit so you can kind of see. To me, it's a little bit of a light gold. On camera there, it looks like a little bit of a darker gold, so you may be getting a little different color, but definitely something I'd recommend. And there's other beers by Montauk Brewing Company that I would recommend also. So anyway, guys, hopefully that gives you a little info if you see it on the shelf. And that's it. Until next time, I will see you guys soon.